All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So, I've been kind of following this for a long time regarding, people shaming others, which I do not like. All right, obviously, I don't like people making other people feel bad, regardless what the situation is. But what I do find quite interesting sometimes is what I realized worked for me growing up. I was a very scrawny, skinny kid. And who had a lot of the most impact on my life were my coaches, or I guess trainers too, or people that I worked out with. And I'm not going to say they meant to shame me, because I don't think, or they meant to bully me. But I think growing up, being so skinny, and I'm going to do actually a podcast on skinny shaming, I think, because everybody always talks about fat shaming. But when you're thin, people don't realize a lot of people are ragging on you. And I think a lot of times we think it's only the heavyset people that get ragged on or get bullied. A lot of people have to understand when you're skinny and scrawny, and I've gone through that myself where people make fun of you, and I still remember the names, which is amazing, even though I don't believe it had that much of an impact on my life, but it must have, because if I still remember guys calling me bird legs, peepee arms, toothpick, shrimp, even my dad used to call me a shrimp, which is funny, but people always, weakling, pussy, a lot of different names. I mean, we could go on forever. I don't think it's appropriate, a lot of the words I want to say. But, it does have an effect on you. But here's the deal. I used that as fuel for me. So as I was being shamed, I said, you know what, I don't want to be this. I wanted to be something else. I was just kind of stuck in this shell. And I think a lot of us have to understand that we are stuck in this body. We cannot escape it. You can try to get away from it. You're not, the one place you're not leaving is your body, most likely till maybe you pass. But my point being is I went, and by being called these names, I just wanted to get bigger and stronger, bigger and stronger. And then I had reverse anorexia, I call it, where I just wanted to keep getting bigger and stronger. I didn't know where to end it, where I started to damage my body. But my point being is, even when I had coaches, I played so many sports, they were not kissing my ass. When I did things wrong, they would scream at me, right? They would belittle me. It worked. If I was getting my ass kicked all the time, it could be wrestling, it could be any sport I was playing, football, basketball, baseball, anything. And when you make mistakes, I'm not saying you need to be verbally abused a lot of times, but sometimes you do know you're doing something wrong. It does teach you that, you got to pay attention. And, you may have practiced certain things, you ignored it, you're just not doing things correctly. And having people sometimes, and it could be even a parent a lot of times, it could be a sibling, you sometimes having discussions don't work for some reason. If you look, you get more out of somebody yelling at you. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you look at a lot of elite athletes or elite coaches, let's face it, they are putting fire under the asses of whoever they're training or whoever they're coaching, and it works. Let's call it for what it is. It really, I think, works. And I'm not, again, here to tell anybody to shame anybody. That's absolutely ridiculous. But I do find it interesting how there's a fine line there. And I also think a lot of times, no matter what people want to say, is them being shamed, again, inspired them to make changes. And again, I'm not warranting anybody hurting people's feelings, but I do think sometimes we have to take an honest approach to say, hey, when people did certain things to me, it actually helped me. When somebody said nothing to me, I got nothing out of it. So if you were kind of somebody too, who say you are overweight for a long period of time, and everyone's saying, it's good, it's okay, it's no problem, and you're obese and you start having health issues, or you had the person saying, hey, you got to lose some weight, my man. I don't care what it is. We got to start getting you working out, kicking the ass, and coming and saying, if you don't do this, you're going to end up with type 2 diabetes. You may also die of a heart attack, a stroke. Now, is that somebody verbally abusing somebody, or is that somebody trying to help somebody? I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Are they shaming this person because they're fat or heavy? Maybe if you look at it that way. Or are they trying to inspire them and try to look out for their health? So again, I think there's this fine line between all these things. Again, it could be shaming, coaching, or just close family members or friends telling people the truth, right? I'm just saying. So I think when it comes to all these different types of things, at least that I've been throughout my life, I look at it all because I've been very thin, or I've been thin shamed, if that's what you want to call it, and then I've been overweight, heavy, and I was fat shamed, and then I've been very jacked too, where, believe it or not, people made fun of me then too, and I was very, people think that just because you're in a certain type of shape, but people are going to make fun of everything. When I was really even jacked from working out with like a six-pack and everything, then they're kind of making fun of you, going, look at this dumbass, all he cares about is his body, or, look, he's another moron who just only knows how to lift weights, or, he's a dum-dum, he's, or all these type of things. It's quite interesting how people don't realize from the outside that I think everybody gets made fun of. I've discussed that on my podcast. If you're smart, you're a geek. If you're a jock, you may be called dumb. If you're overweight, you're called fat. If you're thin, you're called a pussy, or you're weak. There's all these different things that are going on. But my point being is, I think we need to learn, people are going to hurt our feelings, or people are going to say things, but instead of letting that hurt us, let's use that as fuel to make us better. If we can. I'm just saying. That was just something I wanted to do a podcast on. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to hit me up, because I love helping people, but I'm also no nonsense too, because I do think a lot of people claim they want help. It could be losing weight or doing certain things, but they just want to talk about it and they don't want to do it. So I am somebody who's going to tell you, hey, get off your ass. If you want to lose weight, let's figure out a way on how to do that. Let's not bullshit ourselves. And if you keep gaining weight, not losing weight, I'm going to call you out on that shit. That doesn't mean I'm here to, hurt your feelings, but I think honesty usually is the best approach, no matter what. But if you have any questions or comments, I also have a program, Mastering Self-Confidence, where I help men with confidence, along with wardrobe, hygiene, fitness, and things in that nature as well. So you can check that out. And I wish everyone nothing but the best.